Hello guys, what's up? Welcome to the new tutorial from the SketchUp Arc Studio. Today I'm going to show you how we can create some realistic render from the kitchen design with the Enscape 3.5. So before we start this video, like and subscribe our YouTube channel. Let's get to work. This is the environment in the SketchUp that I created, and this is the simple kitchen modern design. As you can see, simple window in here, and we only have these IS lights and other things in here. I use the Enscape asset library for creating these type of objects, and it's really useful for you. You can upload different type of assets in your 3D model if you have good network access. So I'm gonna click on the Enscape in here. As you can see, this is the environment that we have in here, and my backside is the simple wall, and all other things checked at the previous things later. So I'm gonna click on the visual setting in this place. I'm gonna increase the rendering quality to the high mode, and as you can see, this is the main environment that I have in here. So I'm gonna turn on the save frame, and my frame is the quad HD. It's the 2560 to the 1440, and I'm gonna press F on my keyboard, and this is the view management that I created in here. So I'm gonna click on the Enscape kitchen design, and this is the main camera that I have in this place. So my time and daylight is something near to the morning. It's about 7:50, and the sun direction from the left side. So I'm gonna click on the F, reset my sun setting in here. And if you want to see the more details about the view management, I can click on the edit mode, and this is the setting that I have in here, and this is the sun position. Azimuth is about 177 degree, and the altitude is about 27 degree. So I'm gonna cancel it. I'm gonna click on it and close my view management. I'm gonna click on the visual setting again, and I'm gonna start my creating realistic view of this kitchen. All the materials done at the previous session, so I'm gonna increase the exposure first of all to reach to the best result that I can see in here. For example, 56%. And the field of view, if I want to zoom on my model, I can decrease it, and if I want to turn it to the original, I can increase it. So the depth of field can let me to focus on my target only with the simple clicks. So I'm gonna turn on the depth of field with increasing the percentage of it. I'm gonna turn off the autofocus in here, and now I'm gonna play with the focal point to reach to the best result, and this is the focus point of my job. As you can see, some number about 4.83 is the best number that I can use for this scene. So depth of field is about 8% is good. And now I'm gonna click on the image bar in here. I'm gonna use the auto contrast because I have some complicated lighting in here. So saturation is good, but color temperature. If I want some warm render, I can decrease it. As you can see, it will convert to the warm render. And if I want to increase it, actually we have some cool render in here. So I want to use 8000 Kelvin, and the saturation is about 99%. Motion blur is not useful because I don't create any type of animation, and the lens flare is some number about 15%. I don't want to talk about lens flare and bloom option right now, so vignette is about 10%, and chromatic abbreviation not useful in here, so I'm going to click on the atmosphere window. At the atmosphere, I'm going to reduce the fog completely because I only have some one source from the outdoor lighting. The sun brightness is about 20%. If I change it to the 80%, you can see the result inside the house, and house get much brighter than the other times. So I think some number about 24 is good. Night sky brightness is not useful, but the shadow sharpness. If you look at these places in the render, as you can see, we have some soft, smooth shadows. If I increase it to the 100, I can see these sharp shadows in here, but it's not realistic at all. So I prefer to use some type of shadow sharpness near to the softened shadows, some number like the 36%. and the artificial light brightness helps you to create more power of these IES lights and self-illuminated lights. So I prefer to increase it a little bit, something about 130%, and the ambient brightness helps you to create brighting indoor lighting at the daylight. So when I increase it, you can see the lizard. We have some more brighter screen in here, so I think 68% is good, and wind is not important at all, so I'm gonna convert it to the 0. At the skybox, I have some white ground in here, and when I change the clouds density to the 0, variety to the 0, cirrus amount 0, and the contrail 0, as you can see, we have some direct sunlight in here. So at the output box, I want to change my file format from the PNG to the JPG, and now I'm going to show you one setting in here. So I'm going to turn my camera in this place. I'm going to click on the Enscape asset library, and it takes a little bit time. As you can see, this is the assets we have in here. I'm going to click on the categories and vegetation. I want to pick some 3 for myself, so I'm going to click on the tags. I'm going to click on the trees, and it takes a little bit time, and this is the different type of trees that we have in here. I need to use some type of tree that I can use the shadow sharpness in the leaves and seeds. So I'm going to select this one, for example, add it to my environment, and press apply changes. Don't worry about these environment that we have in here. It's not really special. I'm gonna fix it right now. So I close the Enscape asset library in here. I'm gonna minimize my Enscape rendering, and I'm gonna orbit in my SketchUp environment, click on the tree, and move it to the outside in here. And now I'm gonna rescale it a little bit, something like that, and something like this, and I think everything is done right now for me. As you can see, we have some tree in the window, and it's really help us to create much realistic renders. So I'm gonna click on the Enscape Kitchen Design scene in here, and when I orbit in my SketchUp environment, when I look at this place in here, when I move the tree a little bit to this place, the foreground and background completely covered for me, and it's really wonderful. I can move it a little bit to the downside and rescale it again, something like this, or take another copy for making my background completely fully. As you can see, the result is that, and we have improved shadows in here. So I'm gonna click another copy like that, and everything is good right now. Or I can delete these 3. I think it can be really good. So I'm going to click on the shadow sharpness at the atmosphere. Now when I increase the shadow sharpness, you can see the leaves in the environment, but it can completely destroy your realistic render. So my only purpose is that to feel the background of the render. So I'm going to turn the shadow sharpness to the 0, and I'm going to change the sun a little bit, something like that. Hold Ctrl and U to change the sun completely, something like this is really good. Alright, I'm going to click on the visual setting. I'm going to click on the exposure and turn it to the some number about 68%. Now I'm going to minimize my Enscape. I'm going to go to the inside of my house, Enscape KD, and I think everything is good right now. So I'm going to change the sun, and everything is good. I think these IES profiles a little bit too much light for my environment, so I'm gonna click on one of them, click on the Enscape objects, and reduce the luminance intensity about 100%. Now it's much better and much realistic. So At the final, I'm going to click on this place and I'm going to click on the visual setting. Everything is good for me, and I'm going to change the rendering quality to the ultra mode for the better result, and the image bar I'm going to check it, and the lens flare. When I decrease the lens flare, you can see much sharper results in the environment, and when I decrease the bloom to the 0, we have some completely sharp render in this place. But sometimes when you increase the bloom option, you can see the lights and the environment near to the lights completely get to the blurriness. So it helps you to create some type of graphical renders, but not now because it's the interior render. So I'm going to convert it to the 6%, and the lens flare is about 28. And I'm going to minimize it a little bit again. I'm going to click on the Enscape material editor. I'm going to click on the dim gray. I can change the tonnage of the main color, for example, a little bit lighter, something like that, and it's really not bad, or some color like this. And when I click on the wood base cover, I can decrease the image fade in here to only have some warm color for my cabinet. As you can see, when I decrease it, it completely changes in here, and it completely depends on you. For example, when I type 40, we will have some type of result in here like that, and it completely depends on you. So I prefer to reduce the height map about 80%, and roughness is good, everything is good. And now time for the rendering. So I'm going to reduce these lights for the final step about 156, and I'm going to click in here, Shift F11, desktop, and press save. As you can see, we create these type of renders very simple and easy, only with some few steps about the 3D rendering. It takes a little bit time. As you can see, we can see the displacement map of the construct and other things in the render. It's really wonderful. Comment your opinion about the Enscape 3.5 rendering engine, and if I want to show you the final result, when I click on it, this is the final result that we have. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Thanks for your watching. Like and subscribe us, and goodbye.